Reluctant royal, champion horse rider, and a prime example of the strong, no-nonsense personality which has characterised the women of Britain's most famous family. Zara Tindall is the daughter of Anne, the Princess Royal, and the eldest granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II. Her first name was chosen by her uncle, the now King Charles. Zara's life has been dominated by her love of horses, following in her parents' footsteps to European, world and Olympic success in eventing. Her husband too is a world champion. Zara met England international rugby union player Mark Phillips at the 2003 World Cup in Australia, when England lifted the Webb Ellis Cup. The sporting couple got married in 2011 and have 3 children together. But a low-profile, quiet family life in Gloucestershire has taken nothing away from Zara's competitive nature, and the Royal Rebel, as she was dubbed during her teenage years, has her eyes set on competing at the highest level once more. Zara Anne Elizabeth Phillips was born at St Mary's Hospital in London on the 15th of May 1981, the second and youngest child of Princess Anne and her then husband, Captain Mark Phillips. She and her elder brother Peter are the eldest grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth II, who held them in great affection.
Granny was christened in this. Great-granny.
Here, at the christening of Zara and Peter's cousin, Prince Harry, she talks to the siblings about a new puppy.
It's called Dash. Dash. And you know the word you use when you're cross. Dash. It comes out frightfully well as a dog's name, you see. Look, Zara.
Unlike their younger first cousins, Princes William and Harry, Zara and Peter do not have HRH titles, as their father is not a prince, and their mother decided not to make them a prince or princess, a decision for which Zara is grateful. Zara and Peter have always had a close relationship with King Charles's 2 sons. Zara and William in particular, separated in age by only a year, seemed practically joined at the hip as children.
But there are moments on these occasions when all grandmothers look anxious. In their imaginations, the children were already off to a fire.
Zara's loyalty and dedication to her family, alongside her lower public profile as a royal, have proved invaluable to William, who, as heir to the throne, has often endured the more negative aspects of royal life. As well as being similar in age, both cousins got married within 3 months of each other in 2011. And their eldest children are separated by half a year in age. Zara is godmother to Prince George, whose relationship with her daughter Mia is as close as Zara and William's. During her teenage years, Zara became known as the Royal Rebel, largely because of her decision to get a tongue piercing. This shocked the public more than it did her mother, from whom she inherited that rebellious nature. Zara is her mother's daughter in many ways, not least in her love of horses and her exceptional talent as a horse rider, which has brought her a glittering sporting career. Princess Anne was a European individual eventing champion in 1971 and competed at the Olympic Games in Montreal 5 years later. Mark Phillips was part of British eventing teams which won European, world and Olympic gold medals during the 1970s.
Of course, your parents both competed at the Olympics. How much of an inspiration were they? Or are they still?
Yeah, I mean, obviously if they hadn't have ridden, I probably wouldn't have got on a horse, but you know, they very much support me, and you know, it was my decision if I wanted to ride. They never pushed me, so but when I did, they very much backed me up, and you know, they're both very knowledgeable, unfortunately.
So they give you lots of advice?
Yeah, and criticism.
Do you feel a sort of pressure to do as well as they did?
No, I mean, you know, the sport's very different now to when they were competing, and which I keep telling them. But yeah, I think it's very different now, and you know, the standard's gone up, and so I think it's the same sport, but it's still very different to when they were competing.
You've shared in our journey, celebrated royal milestones with us, and now it's our turn to roll out the red carpet for you with an exclusive Christmas competition. Get ready to feel truly regal on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to London. This amazing prize includes a 2-night stay for 2 people at the 5-star Four Seasons Hotel, complete with their signature Crown Jewels afternoon tea for 2. Set in the heart of our historic city, you'll have many of London's most iconic landmarks on your doorstep. After enjoying a slice of classic British tradition with that indulgent afternoon tea, you'll have time to explore everything the city has to offer. Want to know what else is included with the prize? We're taking care of your journey to London from anywhere in the world. You could be flying across oceans and continents to reach our enchanting city, all part of our promise to provide a royal experience. Click the link on the screen or in the description below for a chance to win this majestic prize. So, what are you waiting for? Enter our competition now, and we could be bringing you to London for a trip fit for royalty.
Zara began her equestrian career in the early 2000s, shortly after qualifying as a physiotherapist from Exeter University. She only missed out on the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens because of an injury to her chestnut gelding, Toytown. She would also miss out on the 2008 Games in Beijing for the same reason. In between those disappointments, though, came the biggest achievement of her and Toytown's careers, an individual gold medal at the 2006 World Equestrian Games in Germany, adding to the individual and team golds she'd won in the European Championship the year before. World champion Zara was voted BBC Sports Personality of the Year for 2006, the first and only time that members of the same family have won the award, after Anne topped the public poll in 1971. In 2012, it was third time lucky for Zara, as she finally competed for Team GB in a home Olympic Games. The 5-strong team won silver in team eventing, with Zara riding High Kingdom.
Every phase this week he's been really cool and stepped up to the mark and dealt with the crowds, and I think all of them were, you know, really dealt with it really well, and it's such a relief.
She later spoke of her delight at winning the medal for High Kingdom's owner, Trevor Hennings, who she said had supported her for a long time. An example of her selflessness, her teammates, the horses and their owners mattering every bit as much as her own personal success.
Obviously you get a lot of attention focused on you, and it is a team, you're part of a team. Does it irritate you, or does it make you glad because it increases the profile of your sport that you get so much personal attention?
No, I think it's good for the sport, but yeah, it's annoying at the same time.
Sorry to be one of the annoying ones.
As a schoolgirl, Zara also had a talent for field hockey, athletics and gymnastics. Elder brother Peter was a talented rugby union player and was selected for the Scotland school side in the mid-1990s, making his debut against France. Princess Anne has been patron of the Scottish Rugby Union since Zara was a little girl. It was Zara's own interest in the sport that led her to the man who would become her husband. She met England international Mark Phillips at the Rugby World Cup in Australia in 2003, and their relationship became public the following year. They were two friends and two elite-level sports personalities who understood and supported each other off the field. Rumours of their engagement swirled for a few years before Mike finally popped the question at their home in December 2010. They were married in a private ceremony at Canongate Kirk in Edinburgh in summer 2011. No pomp, no ceremony, but not exactly your typical wedding either, particularly when it is attended by senior royals and World Cup winning England rugby stars. In marriage, as in her younger years, Zara has kept a low profile for someone whose family and relationships have often forced her into the spotlight. Their three children, Mia Grace, Lena Elizabeth and Lucas Philip, were all born in Gloucestershire, where the family reside at Princess Anne's Gatcombe Park estate. Lena and Lucas's middle names are a nod to Zara's grandparents, the late Queen and Duke of Edinburgh. Lucas's birth, in particular, was not ordinary by royal standards. He arrived so quickly that there was no time to get to hospital, and he was born on Zara and Mike's bathroom floor. No palace press release either to announce the new arrival. Mike instead chose to reveal the news on his podcast, The Good, the Bad and the Rugby.
And then Sunday got even better because a little baby boy arrived at my house.
Oh,
You're
wow.
kidding! Oh, yeah.
Well done, mate.
Tim,
Congrats.
that's unbelievable. Let's not talk about rugby. How are you getting on? Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. So, yeah, 6 o'clock last night. That's unreal.
In the episode, Mike described his wife as a warrior, something that her equestrian career and public service have borne out.
Do you think, has it been a hindrance to you or a help to you, the whole royal connection?
Hindrance.
Do you think you've had more to prove because of it?
Yeah, I think, they kind of thought it was all given to me on a plate, and it definitely wasn't. But everyone in the sport is very good to me, and I enjoy being in the sport, and everyone just gets on with it.
Getting on with it would see Zara awarded an MBE for services to equestrianism in 2007, presented to her by the Queen. Another royal for whom getting on with it was the modus operandi. When it comes to her charitable commitments, Zara's sense of public duty began early in adulthood. In her late teens and early 20s, she served as president of Club 16 to 24, a group which aimed to attract young people into equestrianism. Aged 19, she backed a campaign to give primary school children of all backgrounds a chance to ride horses.
I guess, always, because I've always had horses around me, giving them an opportunity to do that, have the same opportunities as people like me is obviously going to be good, isn't it?
Zara has also been patron of several charities, including Lucy Air Ambulance for Children, the Wiltshire-based medical research charity Inspire, welfare charity Retraining of Racehorses, and the New Zealand-based spinal cord injury charity Catwalk. At the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in spring 2020, Zara came together with other equestrian stars to raise money to ensure NHS frontline staff were provided with enough personal protective equipment. Zara and Mike are most regularly seen at their in-laws' big life moments. Weddings, christenings, and sadly, funerals. Zara's understated strength and stoicism came to the fore after the passing of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. In September 2022, during the UK's period of national mourning, Zara joined Peter and her 6 first cousins at a vigil for their grandmother. Married life in the Cotswolds with 3 young children and their 3 dogs, Storm, Pepper and Sway, would suggest a contented and tranquil existence for these under-the-radar royals. But Zara's competitive urge is still strong. Getting back to competitive riding after giving birth to 3 children in 7 years has been a challenge. Yet Zara has said that she always needs a goal to work towards, and having picked up silver at the London Games in 2012, she would love to go one better at another Olympics.